lectures. We're just going to spend a few minutes and then get started on some matters here. A few announcements and just some general overview. First, of course, is to say that this was put together by a group of people. I think Dave Ewan and Martin DeHoop were sort of the catalysts here, and they kind of roped a whole bunch of us into it. And the idea was to try to promote some discussions on a lot of these issues. We've had a lot of logistical support from the staff, Allison, Shelley, Tim, and Reed at Northwestern, and of course Mike, Jack, Chris, Dave, and Chris, the Intrepid Video Group, who now seem to have everything working successfully. As far as we know, that's correct. It's going out there. Great. Just a few overview things. The mechanics was sort of from this. The motivation was just this general feeling that the normal approach in the earth sciences to most any question one has is to acquire more data, and so bold, imaginative initiatives involve installing thousands of something. And the question was whether, in addition to that, we should try to be more trying to develop our methodologies and basically be working with the math community to look for problems of mutual interest that were exciting to the people in math and statistics, and that might be transformative in our science. So this basically was an attempt to sort of be part of that process, and other groups have thought similar sorts of things. And so the thought was this workshop might be part of an effort of catalyzing that. We'll talk about that during the week. Here's a lot of themes that people have been kicking around and suggesting of sort of joint areas of interaction. At some level, these involve things like understanding Earth systems, characterizing uncertainties in Earth systems and in their future. And these are important from a fundamental standpoint. They're important from the standpoints of energy. They're important from the standpoints of natural hazards. And so we'll be spending a lot of time on these kinds of questions. Martin DeHoop will be leading a discussion of that this afternoon, and we hope everybody will sort of chirp in, and we'll all try to sort of formulate some strategy and try to just basically ask what are interesting questions out there that are both interesting and important. One of the things we'll hear shortly from people at NSF, obviously if we want to go this route, some things to be aware of is that the successful NSF collaboration in mathematical geosciences is coming to its end, and so the question is, will there be programs, and if so, what they might be? Many possibilities exist. Some of the things that someone or other in the email correspondence has floated around are a Mathematical Sciences Institute, assuming there's a call for new ones of those. The new Sustainability Engineering and Education Initiative, SEAS, it does have an RFP for research networks to engage and explore fundamental questions relative to sustainability. There would, of course, be the possibility of looking into private sector funding or other things that people might think of. So the idea will be we'll try to talk after our lectures today about kind of mostly sort of science questions in areas that we'll talk about, and then hopefully Wednesday we'll talk some about, are there programmatic approaches that would make sense for us as a group to think about. Workshop plan, remind everybody, we had sort of student-oriented lectures yesterday that was designed to have a significant sort of review component, right? I thought those were really neat, and I learned a lot. So today, Thursday, we'll have keynote presentations that are more active research-oriented. After the Thursday, we'll also have room. A lot of people have expressed an interest in getting up and showing a few slides or something that they think is really interesting, but not yet at the point of a formal talk or something they just like to talk about. We'll have lots of time for that on Thursday. And then following both the formal and informal presentations, we'll have time to talk about further discussion of these group things. And assuming there is a tendency that we should go forward, we'll start thinking about how to do a white paper on these topics. And Dave will address all these in a minute. Just a few logistical things, as most of you have probably figured out. Continental breakfast will be here every morning. We'll be in this room from now each day. Lunches will be provided here. We can have them here, or you can take them out. There are picnic tables outside if people prefer. Dinner will be at restaurants within a block of the hotel. There's a map in your booklet, and that's free to everybody. We encourage people to register so we know how many people are coming, but if you're not registered, just come anyway. of course, the world of academia goes on even when we try to sneak off to meetings. In particular, my class is doing an experiment Wednesday afternoon. We'll be looking at seismic structure under the lake fill here, and anyone that would like to join us after our lectures are over is welcome to come out and bang a hammer on the ground and see the seismic waves on the geophones and so on. And it should be a lot of fun. Usually we should have, in principle, we will have excellent weather, and if all this complex set of equipment works. As always, it's been tested twice and everything works, but when you actually deploy any system, it has a huge tendency to not work. But so anyway, that's welcome. Last thing I'd mention for those of you who haven't been here, many of you are interested in climate, and this is sort of the perfect place to think about climate. We of course are standing at this large blue object that we've closed the blinds on, is Lake Michigan. And it's one of the more dramatic effects of the warming of the Earth since the last glacial maximum. And just to show you a few pictures here about, so this lake, the lake's formed, starting the last glacial maximum. The lake has gotten bigger and shorter with time. Now you see it in its current configuration. And so it is kind of a neat place to see it. And what's truly impressive, again, in terms of our thinking about these kinds of things, is that process of glacial rebound is still continuing today. We're actually in the subsiding part south of that green line. The mantle is flowing back afterwards, and I think we probably will hear some about this in some dig talk. So I'm not even going to attempt to scoop him since he's the expert on this stuff, but just to tantalize you with some neat things that will be there. So on that note, I will, one or two other minor matters I want to mention. Those of you that are invited speakers, travel forms are outside, and they have your name on them, so just pick one up and send it in. And we believe we've paid for just about everything except your, to and from airports, but obviously anything else you need to put in there, put in there. On the back of your name tag is a wireless ID, so if you need that. I'll try to think of any other organizational things. When you give your talk, if you end up using your own computer, please work with the people to put it on the mini-Mac here. And if you have some objection to your talk being put on the website, tell us, and of course we won't. Otherwise, we were going to put people's PowerPoints on it. So in that mode, I don't think I have anything else to add at this. Dave? And so I guess the overall thing is welcome. Hope you enjoy it.
So I'd like to welcome all you people for the next 3 days. We have discussed this idea of having a Math Geo Institute with Martin and Seth for the last 21 months. And I think that this is a timely occasion since CMG is about to end. So we need to come up with something. So a lot of these talks given here are meant to stimulate you to think about what to do and how to interact with people from neighboring disciplines. So I urge all of you to meet other people and to discuss these and ask penetrating questions during the discussion period, which will be very important because it will formulate a lot of our thoughts in this white paper. And so this will be a sharing operation between mathematicians and geoscientists. It's not a one-way street. So with this note, I'd like to welcome Sastry from NSF.
I don't know. No, I just. Good morning. When I say good morning to my freshman class, they all say good morning, sir. When I go to my senior class and say good morning, they all look at strange like you guys did. When I go to my graduate class and say good morning, everybody starts taking notes. I'm thinking that's very important. So anyway, thanks for this opportunity to say a few words to this group. I want to keep it very brief because I do want to listen to the talks, and also I do have a flight to catch this evening, so I don't want to miss either of those. I enjoyed the presentations very much yesterday that were given for the students. They're at my level, so I really enjoyed listening to them. Also had a wonderful year at NSF. I just completed 1 year, like September 13th. Even though the economic times are tough, I think our division is overall, I would say, is thriving, not just surviving. 3 of my goals there for DMS have been to get the resources for our division to the best I can so that we can support both fundamental frontier research as well as multidisciplinary research. As you know, our division is one of the divisions that has interactions with every single division in the foundation, whether it is geo, bio, science, the computational sciences, or engineering. We have connections with all of them. The other thing I have been advocating for is fostering diversity, whether it is in the panels or people we hire or people we support. I would like to have a diverse group of people supported. And then enhance harmony, make DMS is one of the best places to work. And I think we have been able to get really, in all of those 3, make good advances this year in terms of the budgets. I think we've been able to get funds in cyber infrastructure framework for 21st century, sustainability, or the C's that he talked about, and also at the research at the intersection of biological and mathematical and physical sciences. So with all of these special areas of funding, we ended up at the end of the day, even in the budget cut period, with very minimal cuts to our division, and we have been able to support all of our core programs through these cuts. And in terms of speaking of diversity, we have hired about 10 new program officers, and 8 of them are female. And we will be looking for more program officers. These are rotators that rotate each year. And so we will be looking for new hires again. And finally, I want to say that one thing about, somebody asked me, what did you find as a surprise at NSF, is one thing I realized is how hardworking our program officers are. They're really dedicated, they work very hard. And I know they have to say no more often than yes, but they are trying their best to support all of you. So if you see one of them at any of the meetings, give them a hug, okay? They are really working very hard for you. And going into FY12, you will see that we'll be supporting many of the priority areas like CIF 21, the Cyber Infrastructure Framework for 21st Century, CEAS, biomaps, etc. If you haven't seen, especially in mathematics and statistics, we have recently announced a new program, brand new program called Computational and Data-Enabled Science in Mathematical and Statistical Sciences. So massive and complex data are here to stay, and I think our communities have a lot to offer in this area. And I want to encourage everybody to take a look at that solicitation, and the proposals are due in January. So this is in the computational and data-enabled science and engineering in mathematical and statistical sciences. I mean, there's scope for fundamental research in mathematical and statistical sciences, as well as for collaborations with geosciences, astronomy, bio, etc. You may have heard in terms of the geosciences about EarthCube. That's a type of activity that Geo has been doing. And we will have similar things in computational sciences from DMS, our MPS, in fact, our directorate, having webinars, etc. Priorities for FY13. I'm not at the liberty to discuss them until the President speaks, but as you know, massive and complex data will always be there. This is a long-term investment. So think about how our mathematical and statistical sciences can collaborate with other sciences in this particular area. Okay. We have had two exciting things this year. We had a research network solicitation, and we have at least announced one of them that you probably will hear about it later. And we have had actually a pre-research network one on climate with Chris Jones and group a year ago. So again, you will see the interest in research networks from our division in various areas. We also had a competition for Math Sciences Institutes that's going on right now. And we can't discuss anything further than that the proposals are in, they're going through the process of evaluation, etc. One other thing I want to, just 2 points and I'll stop. Part of the reason I'm leaving tonight is that, I was originally scheduled to stay all through for this workshop. There's going to be a new announcement tomorrow from NSF called SAVI, which is Science Across Virtual Institutes. I know there's some discussion about virtual institutes here, but this is a new thing that NSF will announce tomorrow called SAVI, Science Across Virtual Institutes. And why am I going to be there? This is because that we are connecting various math sciences institutes with other institutes around the world. So one of the things that will be announced tomorrow as a pilot is virtual institutes in mathematical and statistical sciences. This connects actually our ICERM, one of our newest math sciences institute, and SAMSI with 5 well-known institutes in India. Okay, so that will be the announcement that will be made tomorrow. And we also have actually similar arrangement already in place with Korea, and people from Mexico are talking about that right now. But as you probably know, for a while, DMS has been supporting institutes abroad with Canada, BERS, France, and Germany. And all of these support basically funding for U.S. participants to participate in abroad. Okay. Again, the main goal is that to connect the researchers across, around the globe and foster multidisciplinary activities, just so that the total is greater than sum of its parts. Finally, I want to close with something that I talked to Seth about. So when I Google for statistics in geosciences, this workshop doesn't show up. It's not there. I could not find it. But if I go mathematics in geosciences, it comes up to be the 3rd or 4th one after the image IMAG that somebody presented yesterday, etc. So one thing I just want to make sure is that to be inclusive, I just wanted to make sure, like say the webinar announcements have gone to the statistics departments, etc., is to have more inclusive names. And in that regard, right now we've been having discussions about changing our division's name to mathematical and statistical sciences. I've been talking to various society presidents already. And right now it's the MPS advisory committee. They're going to collect the information, and eventually by the end of this year they'll advise whether we'll do this or not. It's not done. We're just considering that as a possible option. I just wanted to mention that because I talked to Seth about this before. And also you probably know that there is a Mathematics of Planet Earth 2013. There will be various things that our institutes are doing called Mathematics of Planet Earth. The year of 2013 is declared to be that. And also 2013 is also declared to be the International Year of Statistics. So there will be different things that are going on in 2013 that will be exciting. So thanks again for organizing this wonderful workshop. I'm sorry, I wish I could be here till the end. But as I said, I'm going back for the SAVI. I'm also actually going to log in to the webinar. I'll have to stay at least till my boss finishes her talk today, Mansi Fuertes, and then I'll have to head out to the airport. So thanks again.
Well, thank you. I really don't have much to say to add to what Sastry has said, but I did learn something new from being here, which is CMG is about to end. This is new to me, and maybe this is what the community is suggesting to us, and that's one thing. The other thing is. Well, CMG and this workshop is supported by CMG, the CMG program, and the organizing committee approached the program, the management team, and wants to discuss future directions in the general area of mathematical geosciences. And we think this is a good idea, and we think we should also listen to what the community wants to tell us, and that's why we provide support to this workshop. And this community, the community of mathematical and geosciences, has a very good tradition in history, which is to tell NSF what are the important and new directions in the research of this area. For example, the CMG was sort of created from a bottom-up process, and it was motivated by the community. And then we and NSF and made it formally a program for 7 or 8 years. And so this is a very, very nice tradition, and it is the job was well done. And I would like to encourage this community to continue this good tradition. And I don't know whether CMG is about to end. If that's what you are telling me, that will be fine. We can find good use of money and other programs, so certainly. And on the other hand, if the community can identify new opportunities and new directions, and where, what are the new exciting things to do in this general area of math and geosciences, and we will be glad to know. And my job here is to be a listener. So I'm going to listen to what the community tells us, and also I look forward to the white paper that will be produced by this workshop. Thank you.